Kind of a wet day for us as we're getting this fetch of moisture in the wake of the tropical system, and we're thinking it will be an organized tropical feature off of Texas on Friday. And then this system goes close to the Texas coast on Saturday, but it's taking a little bit of a meander where it's starting to go back to the west and eventually to the west-southwest, and that will make it more of a prolonged event for Texas and the Texas coast. And then you can see on Sunday still kind of close to land before it finally shoves inland. Computer models show that little bend in the track back to the west or southwest through time. You can see none of the solutions really have anything to do with a landfall, even really in Louisiana, mainly a Texas thing. Certainly not coming our way, but we'll get the moisture on the backside of what is likely going to be Hannah. High rip current risk at area beaches. If you have beach plans, I know this is the peak of the summertime tourist season. Stay out of the water for a couple of 2 or 3 days. It's probably going to be the weekend before things settle back down. We will see better thunder shower chances tomorrow and on into the second part of the week as we get into Thursday. Friday does look wet. And then small craft advisory is in effect. That means not a good week to take the boat out. We're likely going to see that continuing through the tail end of the week. Beach forecast, rip current risk is high. I've also heard some reports of jellyfish. So we've got jellyfish and rough surf, temperature around 86 degrees. Here are the names, and this is where we stand with our list of names. And we've used 7 names. We're currently seeing an existing system, Gonzalo, in the Atlantic. The next system in the Gulf could get the name Hannah. This is the earliest we've seen 7 named storms. We're on track to use up all the names. I mean, this is the least active part of the season, June and July. And we're not even done with July, and we already used a third of the names on the list. And when we get into August and September, it's just a guarantee we're going to have more names used. I mean, you don't get into August and September and things just shut off. That's the peak of the season. All right, taking a look at Gonzalo out here in the open waters of the Atlantic. And Gonzalo is this teeny little circulation right here. It could easily spin up into a hurricane just because it's so small and compact. And right now it's a 50-mile-per-hour system. Coming up tonight on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m. As we get closer to the 10 o'clock hour, we'll have new info on Gonzalo. Will it be getting stronger? And the motion's west at 14. Here's the official track right now. And, you know, this shows it as a Category 1 hurricane and then weakening once it gets over towards Trinidad, Tobago, and the southern end of the Lesser Antilles. And then once it gets over here to the south of Puerto Rico, notice how the winds begin to decrease. We're seeing signs of there being hostile upper-level winds, a lot of wind shear here in the Caribbean. So when I show you this next set of models, actually I had them pulled up on my other computer. I may have to show them to you on Fox 10 News at 10 p.m. I've got another set of models I'm going to hold off and show you on Fox 10 News tonight. And anyway, the long-range models are showing that it could be somewhere between South Florida and the Yucatan, you know, into the tail end of the week next week. Well, I mean, that's a really broad area, and it may be totally falling apart by the time it gets there just because of that hostile upper environment. It's just too far out to lock in on any one scenario with Gonzalo. It's just something to watch, really, because even through late next week, we've still got it pretty far away from our area. Okay, looking at our local situation right now, we've got some showers out there tonight, and that'll give us something to track, too, on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m. Got a pretty good little band of rain coming through Baldwin County right now into and around Perdido Key and Lillian. And it's essentially over into Escambia County. It's tracking into Baldwin County. This is weakening. This is holding together to some degree up into Escambia County, Alabama, up around Bruton. And all this is moving on off to the west at about 15 miles an hour. So a few of these showers may hang around in the forecast. So that's a possibility there as well. All right, taking a look at, I guess we'll show you the futurecast for tomorrow before we give it a rest and get back into Fox 10 News, preparing for the newscast. Let me put up a futurecast run for you just to give you an idea. Tomorrow, not a total washout, but definitely a pretty good chance of rain. Look at the rain bands spiraling around that low pressure area. So we'll see a good shot at some scattered showers in the region. And then I can drag this model out just for fun and show you Friday. And look at Friday. A lot of rain around on Friday there. I'm going to kind of rock it a little bit. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it could be really wet Friday at this point. That's what we're seeing weather-wise. So you've been briefed. We checked out the Gulf low. It's moving past us, but we're going to see some rough surf and some rain in its wake. Gonzalo in the open waters of the Atlantic, still a long ways out, way too far to figure out what's going to happen with that long term, but it could become a hurricane, and local rain chances on the rise. I'll have more on all this coming up on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m.